So here's a story that came out in Newsweek on April 5th of 2024. Apparently, a new spacecraft can cause solar eclipses to be made on demand. Came out on the 5th and it was updated on the 7th. I find that really, really strange. You know, they explain it all, but now they've got a machine that looks just like that. So that's kind of strange, isn't it? I mean, it can cause an entire solar eclipse. Weird. Seems like I've seen that someplace before. You see what I'm saying? Long story longer is we can't tell what's real and what's not real anymore. I'm not going to apologize to people for the fact that I told everyone about April 8th and all the strange states of emergencies, National Guards being called out, all the hype and hoopla that was around it, because April 8th was a good time for them to try to pull this off. And for whatever reason, perhaps the reason that we actually raised the alarm, they didn't go forward with it. They're trying to take over the entire world at one time. It's never been done before as far as we know. So, who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be prepared and not need it than need it and not be prepared. And I'm going to stick with that for quite some time. Now check this out. See this right here? This little video?
If the eclipse is right here, yeah, then why is the moon over there? Oh, wait.
Okay, this should be pretty easy for anybody. The moon not being visible with the naked eye on the 8th is because it was a new moon. That is that's probably at 60%. That moon is more than halfway full. This isn't real. This isn't from April 8th. Whoever made this video was messing with everybody or whatever, because that moon, that's the beauty of the sun, moon, and stars. That moon is not a new moon, okay? Let's just put that out there. So I can't believe how many people have sent this video to me, even though I asked, don't send videos to me ever. This video has been being pushed and pushed and pushed and making all of us look like absolute assholes again. When I was explaining to people that I couldn't find the moon with the star, moon, and sun app, just because the moon is in a new phase, it's not invisible. It's not see-through. Theoretically, according to NASA, the phases of the moon are dictated by how much sunlight it's reflecting, which I think is completely and utterly bullshit. I think the moon is a self-lit object. It's the lesser of two lights in the sky. But even with that being said, even a new moon shows up on the app, no matter what, okay? So the fact that I couldn't find the moon any place near the eclipse before or after, we're talking a 6-hour window that I looked for this thing. It didn't show up whatsoever at all. At all. Do you see what I mean? So the moon being a new moon doesn't mean it's invisible. It's just not lit up. You know what I'm saying? And if NASA's theory was correct, when there's an eclipse, the moon should be completely lit up. Anytime the sun and moon are visible in the sky at the same time, if you can see the face of the moon and you can see the face of the sun, both of them should be lit up equally, and they're not, because it's all complete and utter lie. So let's just leave that there for now, okay? Apparently there was some confusion where people thought that a new moon is somehow invisible. It's not invisible, it's just not visible to the human eye. The app always picks it up. I've been using this app for several years now, at any rate. This is a strange thing, telling us before the eclipse that they can make eclipses, which is probably telling us that we're going to make an eclipse and tell you that it's a real eclipse and see what you think. Basically, that's what this was. I didn't know about this till today. One of my subscribers sent it. See, this is good information a subscriber sent me. That's always helpful. So check this out. Prior to the eclipse, right before the eclipse, apparently scientists quietly launch salt crystals into the atmosphere. April 4th, 2024. A solar geoengineering experiment in San Francisco could lead to brighter clouds that reflect sunlight. The risks are numerous. Yeah, that's terrific. That's completely terrific. But here's the deal. How is it 15 years ago I looked up in the sky and just dreamed up this ridiculous story that they're spraying the sky to reflect the sunlight back into outer space to block the sun. And I'm an absolute idiot, but now that's exactly what they were doing. How would I ever know this when I first started my YouTube channel? I wouldn't, because they've been spraying the skies for absolutely ever. Now they're just ramping it up big time. And I made a post about this on Twitter the other day, which I thought was pretty to the point. Yeah, it's right here. They can't run the economy, 33 trillion and rising. They can't win a war, 13 years in Iraq, and we left the place. We killed 1 million people. We spent billions and billions of dollars, blah, 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 blah. They can't defend the border, but fuck it. Surely they can block out the sun. You know what I'm saying? I've been posting this stuff for years, and nobody seems to care. And talking and posting memes alone isn't going to help. You know what I'm saying? It's astonishing. You put up real information, nobody looks at it. You put up a picture, everybody looks at it. That's how pathetic society is right now. And by the way, Israel just submitted a request to allow altar and knives to slaughter red cows in Al-Aqsa Mosque on April 22nd. So that right there will be the beginning of what they've been trying to do for a long time. Go to Iran. This will be it right here. This is going to set off absolutely everything right now. They've been dying for this. Iran, in a real world, if everything was real, the government, the military, so forth, so on, Iran wouldn't even be able to get these claims out because we would have already shut them down. Straight up, we would already have shut them down. But all this is being allowed because it's all part of the plan. So for those that are sad that I was inaccurate on April 8th, I don't know what to tell you, man. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you. I took all the information that they gave us and I relayed it back to you. And here's a funny little story. When they're putting fact checks up on claims that we're making, you know they're not happy. Moon not visible before or after the eclipse. The moon is not visible in the sky immediately before or after a total eclipse because the moon's dark side faces the earth, and not because the eclipse is fake or inexplicable, as suggested by posts shared online. Well, here's another funny story, okay? If the moon wasn't its own source of light, which it is, the moon is still a big round disk up there, okay? We only see it lit up certain parts because it's a clock. It's for signs. It's for seasons. It's from God. It's only lit up a certain amount. It's not reflecting anything. Because if that were true, it would be reflecting the sunlight from the earth, and we'd see the moon would look full to us all the time during the day. If we could see the moon during the day, it would be full all the time because it would reflect the light from the sun on the earth off the moon. You see what I'm saying? You catching what I'm pitching? At any rate, we got war coming. We got war coming straight up. And then the beautiful thing is another one. Another ship near the Verrazano Bridge, days after the Baltimore Bridge. So, really? Remember when I told you that this was going to keep happening over and over and over again? Well, I never imagined they would keep doing the same thing. I said there would be events. There would be events over and over and over again that would weaken America, weaken our infrastructure, weaken our food chains, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't think they'd just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Because why aren't Americans freaking out that all of a sudden every other day a barge almost hits a bridge or does hit a bridge because it lost power? Because prior to this whole chain of events starting, this never happened. And now it happens every other day. And it's just no big deal. Nothing to see here, folks. Keep it moving. All is well. You got to love memes. Look at Joe Biden. Does he not look exactly like a robot? It could possibly be a robot, but you know what? I don't care. We've got bigger fish to fry. What this guy is or isn't doesn't really matter to me. But remember, Geordie Rose, the financer for the D-Wave quantum computer, quit working for D-Wave to go work for his shop. Oh, what was the name of it? Kindred. And he said he was going to make robots that were indistinguishable from people. Well, that was about 8 years ago. So, yeah, looks like they got it done. But another big thing that's going on the internet right now is this. 85-foot waves. There's a giant dark spot in the middle of the Antarctic and blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the deal. I live on the Atlantic. We have tsunami buoys off the coast. And numerous times we've evacuated because the buoys were saying there was a 100-foot wave coming, and it turned out it was just nothing.
African coast. Here is Saturday.
According to them, This is just a data anomaly. So I don't know what it is, but it's amazing how many people are passing it around already without even looking into it whatsoever at all. But on that, I will again digress. I guess that's all I got for now. At any rate, take care of yourselves. Pay attention. And don't believe the hype, and don't believe every meme someone sends you, because that meme showing the sun and the moon in the sky at the same time are absolutely 100% fake. The moon was in the new moon phase, which means you can't see it with the human eye, but the star app always sees it. It didn't show it from horizon to horizon whatsoever at all. Like there was no moon in the sky. And yet somehow we still got an eclipse. You know what I'm saying? And I've spent a lot of time on the sun, moon, and stars, guys. A lot of time. And never saw anything like this in my entire life. So look at that. Look at that. That's actual footage I took. How crazy is that? But that sure does look like not that. I don't know what this means. Why is this a Chinese guy? Unbelievable. Okay, there you go. You know what? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I'm out.